If people had no idea beforehand about that illusion magic, they thought, oh wow, Fairy Tail got really dark because Mavis was burning down people and burning an entire village down, and also as well a giant dragon coming out. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about in Fairy Tail Zero episode this week. So I've got to say, this is actually the first time I believe this has actually happened in the Zero adaptation of it, but actually for this week's episode was actually adapting 2 chapters of the manga. So where it's probably going to be going from this, I'd imagine, since I was really thinking oh, they're going to do 12 episodes, but I imagine that where it's going right now, we could potentially see that this actual Zero adaptation could be ending around, I'd like to say on the 100th episode. I think they might try and do a sentimental kind of thing, saying we're going to actually end it at this point, and there we go, everything's all fine and dandy, we're going to do that. But yeah, that was very shocking because I believe we got to chapter 9 of the manga, I believe, at this point. So that's the question for you guys right there. I personally haven't read the manga, just see where we're at the moment, but I believe we are at chapter 9 out of 12, 13 chapters of what Zero is. And we get to see the plan going into motion. We get to see you saw the Blue Skull leader, and he just absolutely, I'm sorry, I feel really bad, I love animals, but Jesus Christ, that fucking deer got owned so hard. It was just it was minding its business, going, do, oh yeah, I'm gonna go back to Bambi right now, I'm gonna get the leather, pow, just gets fucking blasted, no scoped by the fucking Blue Skull leader. I'm oh my god, that feels so bad for this deer. That deer got fucking owned so hard. And then you get to see Warriors coming out with his you can see with his wood, he's oh, by the way, we just set fire to the entire town. And I'm what? Because they had a plan previously going on. It's they went to talk to everyone, which was I believe that was the only little part of in canon that they had when they was talking to the people, and they got to that Smith and stuff, because I really don't remember it, because I definitely don't remember the baker girl and all that, her little kid. I definitely don't remember that part of the manga. But they go in and they suggest a plan, and they just, everything is burning. Warren just points out, yeah, your entire place is fucking burning into the ground. Lols, and then he just fucks off, and the Blue Skull guy's oh my fucking god. He's they just burnt down my town. They just burnt Magnolia to the ground. That's one way of fucking dealing with Blue Skull, I'd say that. And he's yo, I've got to bounce real quick right now. You guys take care of Warren. I'm gonna fucking go back to the town and get a couple of pails of water and maybe try and put this shit out. And then he arrives to the actual town, and just Mavis is there just walking through the flames, just dark and everything. It's just well, you caught on to me. This isn't just a fucking illusion. Yeah, I'm just gonna do illusion. She's well, you caught me. The entire town that was just on fire, and then it turns out, no, it wasn't just the town was on fire for the illusion. The entire the entire place was it itself, and they trapped him. Mind you, it was in a giant comical cage, which I'm he's a wizard, right? Can he not break out of this stuff, or is it just this will reflect on, it was, I felt always so weird about that, especially when I read it in the manga as well. It's he's got a staff. Couldn't he just break out of it? Unless it's some sort of One Piece sea stone cage stuff like that. But honestly, unless it's oh, this is a special magic resistant kind of thing. So maybe it could be something like that. But it's it never was properly explained. I was that's a bit weird. And then while we get that, we get to see Yuri and Pret. They go in, taking care of the Blue Skull motherfuckers. I gotta say, finally being able to see the first time of their powers, what they can actually do with them against opponents, absolutely curse stomping the Blue Skull wizards. Oh my god, those two went in, bringing in the chains when he was fighting in Tyrus. You got to see that stuff. And then not to mention as well, Yuri with the lightning that was going in. Oh, absolutely fantastic. And it's oh, by the way, here's the Tenro Jade. And then they were talking to the Blue Skull guy, and he's look, look, we got some shit, right? Alright, just don't touch the Jade. Legit, it's fucked. Don't touch it. There's a reason it was there in the first place, and the reason I haven't touched it, and it's just on a pedestal. That thing is evil. It's got a lot of evil, corrupt magic in it. We put it back in there to be safekeeping. That's why they sealed it away. He took it, and he was oh, this could be something, and he realized, oh no, it's fucked. And realizing that Yuri actually picks it up, and it's you shouldn't touch it, and it makes their feelings go different, saying oh yeah, we gotta trust her, yeah, fuck her, that. Yeah, and then actually transforming into the giant blue, basically Skull Greymon. That's pretty much what that is. That, you call that a Skull or Dragon, that's pretty much Skull Greymon from Digimon. That's just right there. He just digivolved into that. and he just started crawling down the actual mountain height and just started wreaking havoc. And Mavis is like, oh fuck me, oh gee, oh jeez, oh no, like she's like, oh, this is gonna go really bad, like trying to talk some sense into Yuri, trying to say like, Yuri, if you're in there, please answer, home dog. We really need you to stop. Actually, like, you know, we said the plan was I was going to fake burning Magnolia alive. You didn't actually have to make it a reality. This is going a little bit too far, I must say. And just seeing from all this is like, you know, at the end of the day, like the episode is like saying like, you know, you're all my friends, you're my treasures, and I was like, oh. And finding out, like, I know exactly where it's going to be going with the next week's episode, so I'm kind of curious if they are going to do any kind of in-canon stuff with this one, or if they're just going to do like maybe two chapters or something. And considering that, like, at the moment it is looking like episode 100 is just going to be the end of Fairy Tail Zero, and maybe at the end we might actually go back into actual, like the Fairy Tail manga itself. So I'm kind of curious about that, like what's going to be happening with definitely like next week. I know what's going to happen. It's the week after I'm the most looking forward to see what's going to be happening about that. Like maybe we might, like, even still, maybe like at this point I thought like maybe like Kondansha would have gave us like some cool like character designs or something like that going on. Like I thought, like, you know, so the next arc I thought we would be able to see something already, but you know, maybe they're just waiting for it. Maybe they are just waiting it out, but we'll have to see. Honestly, I enjoyed this episode. I honestly, if you didn't think about that at first or that, like with if you forgot about Mavis' magic, you'd be like, holy shit, that's dark. Like that's really dark, like that. And also as well, if people still haven't gotten on to like something in this series yet, there was an incredible hint in this week's episode. Like it keeps getting even bigger and bigger, like what's been going on and all that. So yeah, maybe you guys have probably figured out already, but you know, I am still saying, I mean, we've still got a couple of episodes to find out this reveal, but that's all for me, so thank you much for watching as always. I'm going to give this one a solid 8. I had an enjoyable time with this one. I had some laughs with it. Definitely some laughs I wasn't supposed to have, like that poor deer getting owed, but the rest of it was actually a really good episode, and kind of having the climax by having like Yuri just... what did you think of him digivolving into Skull Greymon? What did you think about that? But that's all for me, so I'll catch you guys next time.